Greetings everybody, it's Matt from Noweka and we're here with another ProgressBook video. Once again, we're talking about Gradebook and we're talking about putting in an assignment in an assessment-based classroom. So I'm going to go out here to my math class and let's go ahead and add a new assignment. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And just like any other assignment, I got to give it a name. Let's just say we're doing our chapter 2, section 3 worksheet, addition and subtraction. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and say this is a classwork. We're doing this in class today. And I'm going to say, yes, we're doing it on August 25th. You know, I could always have it due another day, but since we're doing this in class and I'm plugging in today, that's going to work perfect. Yes, post those grades to the internet. Now, this grade will go toward the overall grade. I could take a measurement on the student's effort. I'm not going to do that, however. I'm just going to say that this assignment goes towards addition and subtraction. And actually in the worksheet, there are 5 addition problems and there are 5 subtraction problems. As you click around in here, you're going to notice that the overall grade, since this class has a default grade, which is my main grade here, it's going to automatically know that this should have 10 points, 5 based on addition and 5 based on subtraction for a total of 10. I'm going to go ahead and hit save and lock that in. Now I'm going to go to the mark screen. Let's say everybody's done with their assignment. And by this point in the class, pretty much everybody's good on addition. So most people got a 5 out of 5, but I do have a couple of special situations here. So Dizzy got a 4 and Max down here got a 3, but everybody else got a 5. So I'm just going to go ahead and click 5. Now with the new standard-based grid screen, all you have to do, instead of having the fill buttons right there, you right-click, and I can just say go ahead and fill the column. It's going to fill it with 5s, all except for the exceptions that I put in there. I could also fill across. You can hit fill row or fill all rows. To fill across. But in this particular instance, the subtraction and the addition problems were totally different assignments. It wasn't like, 5 plus 3 minus 2, where they're all one problem, 5 addition and subtraction. This is 5 addition by itself, 5 plus 2, and then 5 subtraction, 10 minus 6. So they're different scores are going to be in here. So I'm just going to say most students are not quite up to pace with subtraction yet. They averaged out of 4. Once again, we had some students here that didn't quite measure up, and we did have a couple students that were ahead of the game here. We had a 5 here and a 5 there, and for the most part, everybody else got a 4. So I'm going to go ahead. Most people missed about one problem. I'm going to go ahead and fill that column. Bingo, bango, boingo. 5 and 4, that totals that student 9. The student got a perfect 10 on the assignment. 5 addition problems correct, 5 subtraction problems correct, for a total of 10 points in that assignment. So that's exactly how custom setup 2 works. Let's go ahead and do a scenario. That was a little more complicated one, but let's do another scenario. So let's say we did have addition and subtraction assignments where the problem was a mesh of addition and subtraction. So I'm just going to go ahead and create addition and subtraction. This time, we only have 5 problems. The 5 problems go towards addition and subtraction because the problem is 1 plus 8 minus 3. So you can't really say if it's really an addition and subtraction problem all in one. So it's melded together. So if you missed it, I can't really tell if you messed up on the addition part or if you messed up on the subtraction part. I'm counting it as a conglomeration towards both. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Oh, I got to give it a name here. So we're going to call this add, then subtract combo problems. All right, and that's going to be another classwork today. And like I said, it's gonna want to automatically sum that up to 10, but in this case, it's just 5 problems there. So that's the last thing we do is say that's 5 points. If you try to like change some scores in here, it's going to update that. But so the last thing I want to do, make sure it says 5 there. I'm going to go ahead and save it. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to mark down how the student scored on those 5 problems. And I'm just going to go right into the overall grade. So once again, we had a couple of students who scored a perfect on there. We had a couple of students who had some issues. And most of the students here got a 4 out of 5. So I'm going to go ahead and right click that. I'm going to say fill the column, and I'm going to go ahead and click fill all rows. Boom. So I copied that column across into the other columns. So now there's 4 problems and he got 4 right. So he gets a 4 and towards addition and a 4 towards subtraction, because the problem, you couldn't really tell where they messed up at. So they weren't atomic in terms of whether they were just addition or subtraction. They were combined together. So that's how you would grade an assignment like that, where you have the same scores across the board. So the same score goes to the overall grade, is the same score it goes to addition, is the same score it goes to subtraction, because that's how they performed on all those areas together as a whole. So that's how you would do a different assignment where you don't have the different parts separated out. And that's pretty much how you do those types of problems. Okay, for those of you who are new to Custom Setup 2, have never done it before, let's go ahead and just explore the standards-based grid really quickly. If you are assessment-based grading, you have access to this screen. If you're not, then you don't see that link at all. But since we set up for Custom Setup 2 now, let's go ahead and check it out. All right, so here we can see all the students in our class, and we can see all the areas on our report card that we're keeping track of and scoring the students on. I mean, you might not be doing each of your assessments each quarter, but in this case, these are ones we're working on right now. And for first thing I might point out is that in addition, for example, for Byron, he's had that assessed 4 times and he's currently got a C for consistent. You may call it M for mastery. Just calling it consistent. Variables, they get it all the time. Variables, sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. And then just not consistent like this, don't get this, don't understand it at all. So if we go ahead and look at subtraction here, go ahead and click on there, I can go ahead and see that the large majority of our class, 82% of our students, are getting C or mastery or consistent performance. 2 of our students are performing variably. Sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. And one of our students just does not understand this topic. They're performing below what they should be. So what I want to do is I want to see if we can get little beeper to move up into the V area or even into the C area. So we want to get these kids getting mastery on these various topics. If I want to see this also as a bar chart, I can see it there. If I want to see counts instead of percentages, 14 are here, 2 are here, 1's there. You can see it on the pie chart there, 14, 2, and 1. So you can see exactly what's going on with subtraction there. Once again, we're looking specifically at this assessment. So let's see if we can help our little beeper here to kind of move up. So what we're going to do is we're going to let him go to lunch. We're going to keep him in for recess. We're going to work on him with subtraction, a little one-on-one, because maybe, without having the rest of the class there and I'm able to work with them individually, I might be able to, make some progress there. So that's exactly what I do. I keep him in for lunch. Now, when we're looking at the standard-based grid, I kind of clicked right through it. But if I click on the little beeper, I can see how he's performing in every single assessment, including his overall grade, which isn't too hot either. But if you look, his addition is doing really well. He's performing basically a mastery level of 95%. So really, a big hangup is this subtraction. We can get that subtraction up, then we could probably also help him with his overall grade there as well. So I can see that. If you also want to focus on any particular assessment for any particular student, I can just click right on there. So I want to go little beeper's subtraction score, boom. There we go. And I can see everything we've done just in subtraction, how he scored on it, so on and so forth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and just hit add a new student assignment. So let's go ahead and do that. And you probably want to label it something so you'll remember what it is. If you do these lunch interventions, so often, I'm just going to say, little beeper, lunch intervention. And I might want to say it's for subtraction because maybe we'll work on them with other things later on. So this is a subtraction intervention today. That's going to be classwork. And let's just say I worked with them. We covered a whole bunch of stuff. I gave them some different tools to help them kind of work with those subtraction problems. And then what we did is we just we hit up some flashcards. So what we're going to do is we'll skip them the flashcards here. Let's say we just flashed 15 flashcards to him at the end there, and that's how we kind of assessed to see if he was making any kind of improvement after our intervention there. So I'm just going to go ahead and say create that assignment. I'm going to go into it, and I'm just going to say that maybe he got 14 out of 15 right. He did really great, and I'm going to say, great job here. I'm going to just give him that a little bit of accomplishment. If I click in here, it'd be great. Great job. Couple exclamation points. All right, so you can see I got a 14 out of 15. As I click out of there, it saves it. It says updated, and now he's moved up from an N to a V. So if we go back out to our standard base grid, and if I go look at my overview here for subtraction, we can see that little beeper has gone up from N, and now he's up here with the V group. So hey, we work with him. We did an assessment. He performed well in the assessment. That bumped him up. And if we continue working with him, who knows? Maybe we can make additional progress there and maybe eventually move him up to the mastery on subtraction. So that's kind of how the screen's designed to work. We can see every single student and how they're performing in every single area. Keep in mind, when you go do report cards, all these grades from this screen just go seamlessly over to the report card because all these individual assessments are what is on the report card to get reported to. If you have any questions, go ahead and email me at matt, at noeca.org, just like it's up here. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye.